Hello, and welcome to the Strings Attached Orchestra's 7th annual holiday concert. SAO is a community orchestra with a mission. We fill our lives with music and we share it with others. In a normal year, we would play 4 to 6 full orchestra community concerts in community centers, retirement homes, hospitals, and more. We prepare 2 special concerts for our friends and family as well. As we know, this is not a normal year. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, our regular performances can't happen. And as for sharing music with others, these days that's much more easily said than done. With physical distancing, it's virtually impossible to be musically close. Music is somewhat finicky about timing, and that little bit of lag on Zoom and other virtual platforms makes it impossible to play together while apart in real time. Despite these challenges, we as an orchestra have found new ways to play together. We started our season with small group cohorts and live streaming to other orchestra members, until the latest lockdown, which took us entirely into the cloud. Despite all of this, we are proud to tell you that we have succeeded in creating community concerts on digital platforms, and we have already played for 3 schools and are arranging music for several hospital floors and group homes. And now tonight, for the first time since this pandemic started, we are super excited as we've been able to invite you, our friends and family, to hear us play once again. I would like to thank the orchestra members for taking this adventure with me. The business of social distancing hasn't been easy on any of us, and when the pandemic first hit, music and musicians suffered a terrible loneliness as Zoom just doesn't cut it when you want to play together with others. The lags, the choppy internet, they make it all fall apart. Before we get started with today's program, I would like to thank our orchestra members for their bravery and resilience. Each of us had to jump well outside our comfort zones to create this recorded music, and here we are today. This is not an easy task to accomplish, and our members should all be very proud. Thanks as well to Matthew, who has created the environment where it could all happen. And now, I am pleased to welcome Matthew Poon, our musical director and conductor, to say a few words.
We have a very, very packed program, as you can see in your program notes. And as I mentioned in my message in the program book, Ruth and I were floored by the number of responses that we got when we asked members to perform for this concert. So we'll start with some house rules, not really house rules, but we'll start with kind of some background things, and then we'll dive straight into the music. Right, I'm going to share my screen here. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to share my screen. I'm completely assuming that what I'm about to do is superfluous, given that we're about 10 months into the lockdown. But here we go. So tonight, your bottom toolbar will be your friend. As Ruth mentioned, if you can keep your, let's see if I can get this. Yep, if you can keep yourselves muted, that would prevent any feedback or any sorts of unpleasant sounds coming out of somebody's computer. Obviously, we can't applaud. I mean, we can kind of see you do it if you do it on your screen, but there is the reactions button. And if you just hover your mouse over it, you'll see a couple different reactions, and feel free to use those. And of course, if you have more in-depth things, then there is the chat bar. So if I just saw a comment about iPads, if you're on a device like, for example, my phone, you might see those. They'll probably be on the bottom, but you might have to swipe up and down a little bit to find some of those functions. All right. Okay, that's it for that. All right, so let's start with some Bach. We're going to begin with a loving message, and Ed, who will serenade us with the the haunting prelude to the second cello suite, followed by members of the SAO performing for the very first time um, online. They would be performing the chorale Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, which Bach wrote for the beginning of the Advent season. Bach also wrote a prelude to begin his collection, the Well-Tempered Clavier, which pianists either love that collection or they hate it. It's very difficult and very complex music. But about 120 years later, French composer Charles Gounod liked it so much that he used it in his Ave Maria. Andrea and her son Bradley will perform that beautiful meditation for us. So let's have a listen to our first set.
Hello, everyone. I miss you. I miss our playing together and a good time. I want to thank Matthew and Ruth and the executive for all their terrific hard work at keeping the phenomenon of strings attached orchestra alive as we progress through this period. You know, in these times of COVID-19, we are all searching for a way to just get through day to day and manage to keep going. But we know that we'll get out of this and we'll come to get back together again. I have that hope. And while we may be searching, we, out of that search, will find hope in the many different ways that we can. And it's for this reason that I've selected to play the prelude to the second suite of Bach's 6 unaccompanied cello suites, because for me, this prelude piece captures the spirit of search and hope in its passage. Happy holidays, everybody.
very different pieces by this master composer. Some might even say that Bach was touched by the divine. But the interesting thing for me is that Bach saw himself as a craftsman. He once said, that there's nothing to it. You just play the right notes. You just hit the right key at the right time, and the instrument will play itself. If only that were true. But I find Bach's statement encouraging because it affirms how music is something that we can all learn with practice, instead of it being reserved for a few talented individuals. I think this speaks quite closely to SAO's mission and purpose. We're going to welcome back Andrea to perform her arrangement of Fiddler on the Roof. She was inspired to compose this medley from a memorable experience performing in a fundraising variety production a few years ago. Afterwards, we have Bonnie and Jerry performing 2 songs for Hanukkah, and they will be joined by Bonnie's husband, Leon.
Shir HaChanukah. Maccabim אנחנו, תגלנו רם נחסום. ביפנים נלחמנו ולנו הניצחון. פרח פרח זה גידור נשאר, לראשם ננצח, מכבי גיבור. Break mir Bocken, breik mir Bein, werden mir seine fein. Lei, 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 lei. Schobben, nacktes Fleisch und Fisch, und weiß bedeckten Tisch. Lei, 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 lei. Vor der Woche schön gemacht, die man eure schenkten Pracht. Lei, 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 lei. Tausend singen jeder Flamme, Stolz ist birgt mir mit den Scham. Lei, 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 lei. Dreh, dreh zum Geroten, dreh, dreh zum Geroten. Und der Woch von Chaneke ist auch nicht mehr geroten. Dreh, dreh zum Geroten, dreh, dreh zum Geroten. Und der Woch von Chaneke ist nicht mehr geroten. Der hat sich in dem gerecht, als Stickel, Beck und Blech. Lei, 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 lei. Brennen doch ist deures Land, unbeleidigt und zergang. Lei, 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 lei. Wenn der viel in Säulen mit, schreckt er neu, stoppt er nicht. Lei, 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 lei. Brennt mir mit und bringt mir bei, werden mir sich alle freuen. Lei, 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 lei. Dreh, dreh zum Geroten, dreh, dreh zum Geroten. Und der Woch und Chaneke ist aus der Geroten. Dreh, dreh zum Geroten, dreh, dreh zum Geroten. Und der Woch und Chaneke ist mal mir geroten.
Well, thank you, Bonnie, Jerry, and Leon for putting us into this festive spirit. For some people, one holiday tradition is attending performances of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker, which doesn't have much of a plot, as really the focus is on the dancing. Reportedly, Tchaikovsky himself wasn't a big fan of the piece either. But tonight, we have a quartet from the SAO performing the energetic Russian dance, or the Trepak from Act 2 of the ballet. Ending our first half of the concert is another well-known setting of Ave Maria, this time by Franz Schubert and performed by Denudo. And then last we will have Rachel performing a concerto by Friedrich Zeitz. Rachel, I see that you're with your family, and can you kind of tell us where you are right now and how the COVID situation is where you are?
Hi, I'm in sunny Queensland, Australia at the moment. So Up until recently, there was no community transmission of COVID in all of Australia. In the last few days, there's been some cases near in the Greater Sydney area, so that's gone into lockdown. There's currently 68 active cases there, so most states have shut their borders to that area. But in Queensland, there's still no cases at the moment, so it's good.
We are all very jealous of where you are. So yes, Rachel did leave us at the end of, I guess it was November, to return to Australia. But she has the Concerto number 5 by Friedrich Seitz for us. So let's have a listen to the tripack, Ave Maria, and the concerto.